From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, August 13th, 2015. Silver is trading at $15.42 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,123 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $268. Antiwar.com reports U.S. drones have killed at least 5 people Wednesday attacking a vehicle in the southeast Yemeni port city of Mukalla. The city is held by al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, and officials labeled the slain as suspected al-Qaeda militants. As usual, there was no evidence that the slain in Mukalla were actually al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula fighters. The U.S. launches signature strikes on anyone who looks like they might conceivably be in al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, and in a town run by al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, the bar for that is set pretty low, with regular strikes on anonymous targets. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula seized Mukalla early in the Saudi war in Yemen, taking advantage of the transition of Houthi forces to resist Saudi strikes and offensives by their allies on the ground. Since then, the Houthis have been unable to get troops into the area for a counterattack, and the Saudis appear completely disinterested in the city. Early this year, the U.S. withdrew the ground troops from Yemen that it used as spotters for the drone war there. Despite this, the drone attacks have continued apace, and the question of who is actually being hit appears to have largely gone unasked, with the all-purpose label "suspects" good enough for most.
For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports the U.S. Department of Justice announced Wednesday it is opening a civil rights investigation into the death of Zachary Hammond, an unarmed South Carolina teenager who was shot to death by police last month while on a first date. 19-year-old Hammond was shot twice July 26 by police in Seneca, South Carolina, in the parking lot of a fast food restaurant where he and his date went for ice cream. Authorities claim the teen attempted to run over Seneca police officer Lieutenant Mark Tiller. It has not been made clear, however, exactly why police converged on Hammond's vehicle in the first place, as he was not the target of any criminal investigation or sting operation. According to the Seneca Police Department, Tiller shot Hammond through an open window because he believed the teen was operating his vehicle in a threatening manner. Local authorities have been investigating the shooting, but the FBI, U.S. Attorney for South Carolina, and Justice Department Civil Rights Division got involved on Wednesday. Hammond's family is calling on police to release dashboard camera video from the attending patrol cars, hoping the footage will shed more light on the sequence of events. Hammond's mother, Angie, said, "We just want answers. We have no clue as to what happened." Hammond's father, Paul, added, "Our son deserves that, and we deserve that as a family."
When her plush and comfy life suddenly and unexpectedly fell apart, Brooke and her dog Cloud set out to defy the odds. If this is a man's world, as they say, living on the streets is no place for a young woman. One day she awoke in the redwood forest and realized she had become a hobo, and would ultimately come to know exactly what it means to survive. How to Be a Hobo by Brooke Willett is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores.
Reuters reports Ohio voters will decide in November whether to legalize cannabis for treating illnesses and for getting high recreationally. Secretary of State John Husted said on Wednesday he had certified the group Responsible Ohio had gathered enough valid signatures to place a constitutional amendment before voters in November. The proposed amendment's language still needs approval by the Ohio Ballot Board. The measure would establish a marijuana control commission charged with regulating the growth, sale, and taxation of cannabis, similar to legalization plans approved by voters in 4 other U.S. states. In November of last year, Oregon and Alaska approved the use of cannabis for recreational purposes in state-regulated systems that will usher in retail cannabis shops similar to those already operating in Washington State and Colorado. Voters in the District of Columbia also voted to allow recreational use of cannabis, but not retail shops. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.